today's show. I'm here with a very special, hard to catch up with man, Ahkee Ferguson. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. How you doing, Rodney?
I'm just fine, man. I had to track you down, bro.
Anytime, Mr. Harris, anytime.
I'm sorry I missed you. What was that, May the 10th?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about what you had going on May the 10th.
We had a show at the hasn't been that long. I forget it. The D.R. Symphony Theater in Youngstown. Doing a great show titled Lives That Men Tell. A very good production. We have another show we're doing at the Ford Theater June 21st in Youngstown as well. It's a one night only, 7:30 p.m. Great show we bring to people. Some of they haven't, from our standpoint, some they haven't seen before. Very entertaining. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you might throw something at the stage. Somebody really, does something that kind of really pisses you off or something like that. So, but for the most part, it's a very, very good production. Very excited about it.
Okay. Now, tell me if I can remember, because we tried to do this interview before.
Yes, sir. Yes, we did.
Before the event, actually. Mm-hmm. And I know you had, tell us about some of the cast members. I know you had some stars in there.
Yes.
And then you had some local Akron people too. So
correct.
Tell me about that.
Where can I even begin? As far as the cast, I mean, just people who have been with me a very long time, worked with in the Akron area. Byron Milbury, Shannon Mitchell, Kenneth Lindsay. Tawanda, she's actually from Chicago, but native to that Northeast Ohio area. It's just so many. We have a cast of about 20, so not to Pierre Patterson. Some people have been with me for some years, and they have some of the best talent in Northeast Ohio. One thing I always tell people when I'm traveling, going here, is that there's so much talent in this area. I mean, example, LeBron James. I mean, phenomenal talent. It's just sometimes some people, because we don't see people make it. We don't see people making it, so a lot of people, are stagnant. They don't put the effort and drive that they need to put in to be successful. But it's just so much talent in this area, so much.
Is it that we don't see them, or we kind of run them out of town before? Which one is it, man? Because I know my opinion on that.
Well, Mr. Harris, I would say it's probably both. It's probably both. Is that there's talent here, and they probably don't get appreciated. I mean, we know the Bible passage, prophet was about honor his own. And like I said, because we don't see talent. We look at people. You just James from 495, Market Street. They kind of overestimate people, or underestimate people, I should say. And it's just that some people that kind of get complacent. They go elsewhere, and they shine. And they never come back and everything.
I like to think, and I'm glad you touched on this, because I always wanted to say, I like to think that Akron is it's a serious training ground. I mean, it puts you. I mean, you have it where your family and friends don't support you, and it kind of makes you tough. And I feel like that's why people from here leave and instantly succeed there, because it's like no matter where you go after this, it doesn't matter. It's like you put that toughness in you here, and I think that's the reason. That's just my opinion, man.
Well, what I would say, people might laugh and think, how am I comparing the two? But they say in New York, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. I would say Akron, if you can make it in Akron, not so much that some people don't, but just say if you can kind of, pursue your dream, whether it be music, acting, singing, business, whatever it is, if you can at least try, and even if you're not successful, you keep trying at it, it breeds character, it breeds development, it breeds fortitude, it breeds discipline, determination, and desire. And then if you take that skills, like you said, a training ground, you take it to Atlanta or down south or California, you'll be very successful. Because if you can maintain here, instead of just But one thing I would say is that, even if you try and you don't make it, don't stop. I mean, I've been doing this for quite a while. I've had, shows where it's more people on my stage than there's in the audience. And, that's a tough pill to swallow. But, I decided to do this. So I heard that comes with it. And in time, I began to reputation of having, very good plays. But still, I would say that from my standpoint, sometimes you do have to really, really, you would think being home, it would be a lot easier because it's a home crowd. People know me. I'm not a terrible guy. I mean, even what I would tell you, Key's a pretty good guy and things like that. I haven't hurt nobody or anything like that. But it still can be, kind of difficult, I would say, because, you home, you Akron, and if you hear, you can't be anybody special. There's some type of assumption, but just like that. I mean, it was this kid who stayed in the projects, LeBron James. They could thought he wasn't going to be nobody. You know what I'm saying? You in Spring Hill, how you going to be somebody? The man's the greatest basketball player in the world currently. Going to be one of the greatest ever. So you just look at that. This person you overlooked as nobody, probably not going to make it, is a star. And I say so many LeBron James in this area. So many, but just through, not getting the support that they needed, or, having, standing up and getting knocked down, they just never do what they accomplish what they can. I mean, all these actors, right here, I mean, phenomenal people. I mean, but there's so many people who just, they kind of jump off the wagon too soon and everything. But me, I'm in for the long run, sir. I'm in for the long run.
And that's interesting that you said that, because the funny thing is, it's still people running around here thinking that they can beat LeBron. But
sure.
Yeah.
Everybody got a dream.
I remember a guy telling me, we was on tour when I was doing comedy, and I decided to bring that tour through here. And, you in Chicago the night before, and it's just like with your plays, at that point in the play where you're supposed to get a laugh, absolutely, or the people are supposed to be sad, so And we come to Akron, and I know they're supposed to laugh at that, but they just sit there and look at me. And I remember coming backstage and asking one of the guys that was from New York, why they just sitting there looking at me? And he said, you got to understand, these people are looking at you like, oh, that's Rodney, and, I went to school with him, and he wasn't funny. He wasn't funny in the second grade, and, so he said they know you personally, and they're looking at it instead of just looking at the jokes, where when you're in Chicago, they don't know you personally. They can only base it on what you just said, whereas here they got all kind of other things going on.
I see.
And that's a lot of it. But I will say it makes you stronger. Like when you said you had plays where it was only 20 people there, and to not quit when you don't get the support makes you stronger. So when you do go somewhere where you don't know the people, you don't need that support. Correct. It's like this play is going to do what it do, and it's going to do it in New York, Chicago, Atlanta, L.A., and it will do it here when you come back, and you the man. See, I know you the man now. Yeah. Absolutely. And when you come back here and you at E.J. Thomas and you selling the plays out, there will be some people that will still say, oh man, his plays ain't all that.
I remember when he was, getting chased home after school.
It don't matter though. It makes you strong.
Correct. Like I say it's a lot of, great, not to say anything bad about I definitely love Akron, always will. But it is just that stigma the gentleman told you in New York, just that I just see Rodney Harris. I just can't see, they kind of really get stuck behind that until you just, and from their standpoint, you redefine yourself. They say, wow, well, you have done this, I've heard you've done that, and not to take, we take you out that box. I do kind of just keep you in the box, like you just so-and-so, you just so-and-so. And it's just, like I said, I won't necessarily call it a crab in a bucket, but just, just not really, we're not building any ladders, for some people. I would say that's probably the best representation, best metaphor is that we're not, I won't say pulling people down, but we're just not helping build ladders, for, just youth. I mean, people are just trying to do anything from entertainment to business to open a hair salon, beauty salon, restaurant, all type of things. I just think that, in this community, we're a small city, but the talent is endless. I just think, this maybe helping more people out, but I think people like LeBron James, people such as myself, when I'm in position, to definitely reach back and to help out those. Like LeBron has all kind of camps and things that he does to reach and to help out. So, I would say instead of getting bitter and getting mad and everything, well, I ain't never coming back to y'all city, blah, blah, blah. Come back, help out. Help bring at least one person to do what you're doing, but have them emulate you, meaning to have them do better than what you did, I would say.
And I agree with that. It's some young lady or young man in their basement right now working on their play. And like you said, one thing I can say about Akron, I love Akron too, obviously Akron Today Show.
Absolutely.
It's so much talent. Goodyear people was talent. It's worldwide talent that will always come from here. And I do think the culture is changing, as generations and generations go on, that I think the culture is changing where people do want to help. So, there's always somebody that's willing to help. But get back to your play. You said there are parts of your play where make people want to throw something at the stage.
Yes.
I know before we came on camera, you were telling me about the emotions of the play.
Yes.
Can you go into a little bit of that?
Okay. What I was stating is that this play is about the lives of 6 different men, 6 different walks of life, and some of the issues these men are dealing with. Is substance abuse. I have a counseling background, so opiate abuse, prescription pills is a serious problem, a serious epidemic. So it deals with that issue of substance abuse, with addiction, domestic violence, parenting abuse. A lot of us, especially in the urban culture, we were raised, go out there, get the switch, get the extension cord, get this and get that, and it's just, not to say that I'm against, disciplining the children, but just that I can kind of create a certain kind of environment. If you were used to getting whooped with extension cords, getting spanked and blah, 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 you bring authoritative parenting style to a home, that might not be best for your children. Your kids will not need that sort of, corporal punishment and things like that. Children are different. Other issues, is marriage. People have serious issues in their marriage, such as secrets that some men might hide from the women, deep secrets they might hide from the women. And then, just, not being a father. Unfortunately, it's an epidemic, with men not stepping up to the plate. Men not being fathers to the children, having so many, probably because they didn't see a father growing up and everything. So just those kind of issues. So, it's not like play is depressing or anything like that. I don't even leave in there feel, oh my God, it's the worst story I've ever heard. But it's just that we touch on these issues. What I like to do in my plays, I call it frequency. What I mean by that is that my play has a frequency to touch every person that watches. Not that somebody on stage might be you, but somebody like that. You experience somebody like that. That makes you think of your cousin, your friend, your aunt, somebody you work with. And that's why I want to be able to touch every person that can see this production. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, any kind of race could be able to see something, really take from it. And that's why I say somebody might laugh, cry, jump for joy, might want to see somebody, one of the actors after the play, what I'm saying? But like I said, we definitely want to give a great show. That's the number one thing to me, is definitely about bringing a great performance to the show.
So, how long, in this you're the playwright, director, executive producer, you wear all the hats, right?
Yes, at this point, I do wear a lot of hats, but we have a show in Atlanta. I'm looking to book a show in Atlanta in the fall, where is this play, very important play, giving a great production to people in the Atlanta area. But, it's just, in the bigger cities, more opportunities. It might be a potential where someone else might join into the production and produce that can make things a lot more easier for me to take off. I only got one head.
Yeah.
I'm wearing all these hats, so I would just like to, in time, just be the playwright. That'd be perfect. Playwright, producer, that'd be awesome. Instead of this hat constantly putting on, because it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress. But then, like I said before, no one made me do this. I choose to do this. So I have to accept everything that comes with the territory.
Okay. So tell us again, where's the play, the name of the play?
Yes.
And where's the play at? And how do you go about getting tickets?
Great. The play is June 21st at the Ford Theater, 260 West Federal Street, Youngstown, Ohio. If you need tickets, you can call me directly. We have a direct number that will bring you tickets. That number is 330-861-6938. That's 330-861-6938. Get your tickets in advance. They're cheaper in advance. They're more at the door. So, but it's definitely a great show, and something you can take your family, loved one, significant other to, and have a really good time. The lies that men tell.
Okay. Mr. Ferguson, I appreciate you granting me the interview.
Anytime, sir.
Although I know you're a busy man, I had to track you down, stand in front of the dude's house to get the interview. His kids looking like, that dude, he keep coming here. Anyway, man, I appreciate the interview, man. Much success in the future.
Thank you.
Don't forget you know me, bro.
I won't never forget that. I got it on tape. Never forget that, Rodney.
All right. This is Rodney Harris, Akron Today's show. Until tomorrow, we here at Ahkee Ferguson studio. Lovely studio, by the way, bro.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I appreciate anybody, man, that's coming up. I've been knowing you a long time, man. Like I said, much success in the future.
To you as well.